What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So, um, the Donald Trump campaign had a campaign rally yesterday in Asheville, North Carolina, which, if you believe the polls, a month ago, North Carolina was a lean Republican state, I guess I would put it, or a comfortably Republican state when the landscape was Trump versus Biden. Uh, I'll get back to that in a minute. But anyway, it's been reported that outside of this rally yesterday, outside this rally, vendors or a vendor was selling a Kamala is a 304 t-shirts. Now, the t-shirt didn't say 304. That's what I'm using on YouTube. It's using another more um, insulting or vicious term or slur, whatever you want to call it. Um, Matter of fact, this is what was being reported. Jessica Wakeman on X said, I didn't get photos or video, but vendors. So it was vendors. It was various vendors outside the Trump rally in Asheville were selling t-shirts calling Vice President Kamala Harris a 304. They used a different word. And when a vendor got in a shouting match with folks, he called a protester a word that rhymes with bore. Look, this is my thoughts on this, okay? I'm gonna get back to the polling thing in a minute. I've already made it clear that I don't really respect how Kamala Harris got to where she is, right? We all know how she got to where she is. You know what I'm saying? We know that. Okay. But as much as I loathe people who do that, because I've seen it at the workplace, right? I don't really respect people like that. I've had supervisors, female supervisors, who've done that. And then, they get mad when I don't show them the respect that they think they deserve. And I allude to it. I never quite say it, but I just don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's worse than nepotism. But having said all of that, right? As much as we want to shame a woman for doing that, we still got to look at blame at these fellas, these men who are putting them in position to do this. You know what I'm saying? These men are reciprocating sexual favors for advancement, which should be against the law. I think it really it is. But, it's hard to prove that. So these men are often putting people in positions where they're not really qualified based upon personal gratification. Also, you got to look at the system. That's an argument to be made that the system itself is misogynistic and sexist. So this is the path that many women, especially a woman who's not white, feel like they have to choose in order to get to where they want to get to. So I try to look at it like that too. But another thing too, I think a lot of us are being hypocritical here because MAGA, right? Anybody that supports MAGA, I don't think it's fair that people who are MAGA are attacking Kamala for doing that, but then you want to give Donald Trump a pass for all the indiscretions he's been part of. And the media, they want us to protect Kamala Harris, and we can't think that that's fair game, but you feel like Donald Trump's private life is fair game. All the things against Donald Trump is fair game. But yet, the same media gave Bill Clinton a pass for being a predator for all those years. And some of the same people who are attacking Kamala cheered Bill Clinton. Matter of fact, that endeared Bill Clinton to some of the black community, in particular black men, because he was a player. He was getting all this pussy and all this, right? But then they want to shame Kamala. So I can look at this all totally different, all different ways, right? But the more immediate impact, and this is me getting back to Poland, in a month time, if the polls are correct, this has gone from a state that Trump was going to win by 5 or 6 or 7 points to now being a toss-up leaning to Kamala Harris, if you believe the polling. The danger in this strategy with the Republicans, and they never learn, if you keep shaming Kamala Harris based on her sexual prowess, right, you risk alienating even Republican voting women, because then they go into defense mode. Just like how some of us, I'm not talking about myself, but some of us who may have been considering voting for Trump, right? Once you start that racial stuff, the MAGA people, that's going to start turning black people off. In the same vein, if you keep attacking women or this woman based upon her sexuality, you risk alienating women. And this time, Donald Trump is in danger of losing white women. He won white women in 2016. I think he won them in a plurality in 2020, though he lost. If he loses more ground with white women, in particular younger white women, because they think differently. Younger white, because remember, this is 8 years removed from 2016. So a growing percentage of the electorate are young white women under 40, or even under 45. These women move differently. They're not as inclined to vote with their spouse as much as older white women. These women tend to be more single. These women tend to be more, quote unquote, feminist. They tend to be more sexually promiscuous. And if you attack Kamala on that, then you're almost by extension attacking them. And that by extension, he's either going to do two things. He's either going to make a lot of these women who are considering voting for Trump vote for Kamala, or some of them ideologically who just can't vote for Kamala because they don't rock with what the Democrats rock with. They're just not going to vote out of protest. Okay, you know what? By extension, you're attacking me as a person. I'm not going to vote. And Republicans are just idiots when it comes to this stuff, man. They're idiots. Just like with the abortion issue. I told you back in 2022, when they were in position to have this red wave, what did they do? They kept trying to attack the women on the abortion issue. And what happened? Women either didn't vote on election day, or they switched over and voted Democratic. And what was supposed to be a red wave was nothing more than a drop of red blood. So at the end of the day, man, yeah, they just don't learn. They don't learn, man. Donald Trump right now is attempting, whether you think he's genuine or not, he's attempting to expand the Republican base. He's attempting to try to make inroads with black men. You have MAGA all of a sudden now attacking Trump, saying he's acting like a politician. This is what I've been told. So they're mad at Trump for trying to even attempt to reach black voters. They think Trump should only stick with white men and white people. And that's why I'm increasingly beginning to believe that they're going to fucking lose, because they're stupid. They're stupid. And then we'll be wondering why they lost in the autopsy report in 2024. Fuck you. You deserve to lose. Stupid motherfuckers. Stupid. Just dumb. They don't learn, man. I'm going to tell you something. If they lose this time, I think that's going to be it. The Republican Party is going to have to reorganize itself, because then they're going to have to be like, look, we can't win a national election anymore just catering to these individuals. the more, even though I would say the Southern strategy is not even that was more covert. This is becoming even overt. But the so-called Southern strategy, if you want to call it that, doesn't work anymore. Doesn't work. This is not a country anymore that's 92% white. This is a country that is over 30% non-white now. Technically, even more so. It doesn't work anymore. But anyway, the Republicans are playing right into Kamala's hands with this strategy. Attack her record. Attack the Biden administration. Attach her to the Biden administration. They're trying to take her away from that. There's a reason why her approval rating was in the toilet. There's a reason why she failed as the czar on the border issue, the immigration issue. Talk about these issues and attack her for her inept record and her corrupt record and her horrible record as a prosecutor in San Francisco and as the Attorney General in California. Attack her for her non-existent record as a senator. Attack her for being a flip-flopper, because everybody keeps saying, well, how does J.D. Vance go from being a critic of Trump, calling him, Schicklgruber, to being his running mate? Well, then say, okay, I reply to that, and I retort to that by, how did Kamala Harris go from being a person attacking Joe Biden, basically calling him a racist for his stance on the busing issue, to being his running mate? Attack her on that stuff. But y'all going into this personal stuff, bringing up race, bringing up gender, bringing up her sex, bringing up her prowess. Yeah, and sometimes, at some instances, yeah, we bring it up to make points. But when you keep making that the attack, it's going to alienate women. I'm telling you, it's a losing strategy. But what do I know? I'm just some nigga on YouTube talking, right? I mean, that's what everybody say. I'm just some nigga on YouTube talking, except when I talk about LeBron, then all of a sudden I'm a threat. It's convenient, you know what I'm saying? And when it's convenient, when you want to downplay me, I'm just some dude on YouTube, some nigga on YouTube talking. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it.